I've never been to a Half Price Books before. I recently went on vacation, and where I went they had a Half Price Books. Let's check out some books. If you ever come across a book and you look at it and you see the cover and you're like, wow, I bet that has some value to it. And then you check it and it doesn't, and you're still kind of like, but that doesn't make sense. This is one of those. Immortal X-Men 4. $2 for this. Not much real value to it. I got a bunch of #1 issues from the Half Price Books that I went to. This is one of them. There's also this nifty little card that's Cloud9 Comics. Hey, great. Always buying, never disappointing. Liars. Let me tell you why. Never disappointing. Yeah, they taped that right to the book. Guess what? Cloud9, disappointing. Paid $1.50 for it. I already have it. They had 1 through 10, I believe. Thought about picking up all of them. The complete series is 1 through 12. Didn't really want to mess with it. Left the other ones behind. I didn't realize it was attached to the comic book. I have to get out my wife's hair dryer. Did I mention I picked up some #1s? Ghosted #1, Joshua Williamson. What did they say? A cross between Ocean's 11 and The Shining. That's neat. Gwen Stacy #1, Adam Hughes. Here's another example of Adam Hughes thought the book would have more value than it does. It really doesn't. The Virgin can go for a little bit of something. I paid $2.50 for it. It's a cool Adam Hughes book, and it's a #1. I like #1s. Did I mention I like #1s? Stillwater #1. Chip Zdarsky. There's another writer that people seem to latch onto and enjoy their work. Who knows? Sock that away. Could become something. As well as this one. This is a cool cover. I like this. This is touted as James Bond meets John Wick. This is Mark Millar. I think is famous for having things optioned. This is a pretty neat one. King of Spies #1. We'll see. Giant Days #1. 1 of 6. This, according to Comic Collector, there's a little bit of a bend there. Oh yeah, a little bit of a bend. Should have some value. It might. Paid $1.50 for it. This next one was pretty cool. I like this creator, Daniel Warren Johnson, do a Powerbomb #1. They had #1 and #2. I thought about picking up #2 as well. Ended up putting it back. This next book is a #1, an actual first appearance as well. This is the first appearance of Ghost from 1993. It's DC Comics' Greatest World, week 3. What is this one? Got another one here. They had a few of these. So that's the first appearance of Ghost. And this is the first appearance of Barbed Wire. I have fond memories of the Pam Anderson interpretation, if you want to call it that. I don't know. I like that movie, right? That was a good time. And this is the first appearance of Barbed Wire as well. And here I paid $1.50 for both of those. Those are good, neat pickups. This is kind of hard to find on the internet. This is the second print of the 1998 first series of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, also at #1. We're not going to call it a ghost, but it's not the easiest book to find on the internet. Let's get rid of those. Cool book. I watched some Buffy in my day. Some people are a little fanatical. This is the first appearance of Beetlejuice in Standard Comics. This is really neat. It's Harvey Comics from 1991. From 1991. I like it definitely has that, for me, Nickelodeon animated feel that I remember from the TV series, and I paid $1.50 for that. It's a pretty cool number 1. I wish it was a little bit better of a grade. Some spine ticks there. It's probably the worst issue number 1 that I've found. It's also maybe not the oldest, but one of the oldest, from 1991. The next one I was kind of excited to see, but it has a lot of water. I don't know if it'll come through. See all those ripplings? That's in the actual book. I'm wondering if I can do some sort of pressing to get rid of some of that anyway. Excuse me. It's a variant cover by John Romita Jr. Supposedly goes for a little bit of coin. Values are all over the place on eBay. It's kind of hard to price for $2, and with the amount of water damage that's on it, it's more of a let's see what you can do with water damage kind of book. This was neat. Didn't really see any comps for this. This is this classic cover collection from AMC Theaters. This was a promotional giveaway for, obviously, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I don't know if there's much value on this book. Probably not, but I like these promotionals and gimmicky sort of things. Oh, cool. I haven't looked at this yet. It just has all the covers from his first standalone. Volume 2. Another volume. Had that omnibus. Yeah, so it's just a bunch of covers. A little promotional giveaway. Neat. Paid $2 for that. The next couple books I have no idea, don't know anything about them, from, what is it, Kitchen Sink Publishing. 1 of 5 and 3 of 5. Captain Stern. The reason I picked these up was Bernie Wrightson. Looks like the creator of those. Can't tell you anything about them. Maybe we should open one up. Let's open one up. Oh, paid $2 for both of those. They're in decent condition. Here we go. At least issue number 1 is a thicker book. Decent condition. Black and white, color. I don't know. Oh, that's cool. Hand painted by Simon Beasley. Cool. Picked that up. A few more. This was $1.50. This is another one of those books that you see I've never owned before. For $1.50 in the condition that it's in, I thought that was a decent pickup. Not a high value book, but a cool book nonetheless. First ongoing for the Falcon, or at least solo titled. This is pretty cool. I remember I paid $2.50 for this. That actually holds some value. I know that I've seen it around, and I know that some of these, this one, the Silver Surfer of the Alex Ross Timeless variants, and probably a couple more, actually hold some value, and this is one of the ones that does, so I was happy to find that. It is nice. I have a couple of those. I have Namor, of course, and Doctor Strange. And the next ones are kind of for my PC to some degree. I saw this series come out and was interested in it. It's Amazing Fantasy, K.R.A. Andrews, science fiction, cool covers. Looks 1 of 5. I got paid $2.50 for these. There were a couple of these number 1s, and I obviously picked out the one that was in the best condition. Let's go ahead and take a look at the art inside. So at the Half Price books, they had a lot of new stuff. Maybe some variants that I was leaving behind. If you wanted your fill of modern comics. I think that they kind of help you out with what you need. Don't really know too much about the series. Thought it sounded interesting, and I think they're all like science fiction versions of the different characters. Maybe, I'm not sure. But I saw them, picked up issue number 2, number 3, skip 4. Nope, number 4. So skip 5. Obviously, the Frazetta Death Dealer, a little bit of a lower grade on that one, but for $2.50, that one's actually a little beat up for being a newer book. Anyway, those are to read and I don't know, toss if I want to. Then they, if you've never been to a Half Price Books, they had a vintage section, not very big, and then they had a short box, and on top of the short box they had like a plexiglass that was locked in the front, and on the top of the plexiglass they had a slit, so you could kind of reach your fingers in there and kind of thumb through what they had in the short box. That was pretty annoying. It was hard to see even what issue titles were. Obviously about impossible to see the grade that the books were in, and obviously I could have found somebody probably and been like, hey, I'm interested in some of these books, will you open it so I can look at all of them? But whatever, I didn't do that. So I didn't go into any of the short box with the plexiglass locked on top of it. I did go into the vintage. I mean, I thumbed through that, but I went into the vintage and found a few books. Atomic Bunny I found for $5, and I show them, put this, it's in its own bag and board inside there, as you can see, but just to show you Half Price Books, they actually do a pretty decent job of securing the golden, older Atomic Age books. Paid $5 for that. Really nice shape. I won't take it out, but again, just to show you what Half Price Books packages their books in. Nice condition for 1959 for $5. Cool book. Atomic Bunny. Picked up another one. There were a few that I were looking at that they have a decent amount of Dells, varying condition. You know, with Dell, it's kind of hit or miss what the value of the books are. So I like to go at least on eBay and find some comps. I actually have already purchased a Dennis the Menace book that I saw there that I thought was really cool. They wanted $10 for it. I bought a much nicer copy for $8 and change on eBay. Stay tuned if you want to see that one. But this is a really cool Popeye yellow cover, very nice condition that I paid $10 for. That's a still 10 cents. I'm still kind of learning about the golden age and Dells and everything. This is from 1960. Anytime I see a 10 cents, alarm bells are ringing that it's, you know, probably before the Silver Age. And then they had a few of these. This is cool. They had a few of these. I a little bit wish that I had snagged all of them. They had them for $4 each. It was like Super A, Super B, Super A4, B2, things like that. This was the nicest one they had. And also I thought it was a pretty cool cover with Batman with the tiger and Robin down there. They also had a Superman one, but like I said, I like the yellow, and this was the best conditioned one they have. It was a little hard to find any information on this online. So I kind of wished I had bought all of them. It's one of those things where, which I've bought like kind of promotional things before and kitschy things, and I paid whatever amount I paid for them, and then, well, I could have got a nice better copy for half the price that I paid. So I kind of tried to safeguard against that a little bit. This is from 1977. Government property purchased with ESEA Title I funds. It's a motivational rating kit. You can see that up there. Yeah. So I don't really know what to make of all this. It's published by Warner Brothers. Like I said, 1977. And it has these books: Bad Times Under the Big Top, Supergirl Meets William Tell, The Tiny Trappers. I'm assuming these are just reprints, but they're really nice. Obviously, the colors in them, and it's, I would say, magazine format. It doesn't say, to my knowledge, what issues it will be reprinting, if it is reprinting issues, but it's a pretty cool Batman. I'll just go to the don't want to spoil the story for you. The Supergirl book story. And again, it doesn't have any of the information on it. I don't think it's in the back. But I thought this was, oh, there's what the SRA means. I tried looking that up for publisher. The end. Then a fable. Doesn't look like any of the creators are on there. SRA, Science Research Associates, Chicago, subsidiary of IBM. Anyway, I thought that was really cool, you know. Hopefully it's not worth like $1 million, then I left the other ones behind. I doubt that it is. It's probably not worth much, but stuff like this I think is really cool. All right, well, that was my half price. Oh, do I have anything else to say about it? There's a comic book shop. We've been to this locale before, and I went back to a comic book shop I had been to before and had some cool finds for it. They had comic books, at least the last time I went, and this time very, very few. They had some new comics. They had some comics for kids on a spinner rack, and that was about it. It was all Warhammer 40K, tabletop gaming, those sorts of things, which are cool. I have no problem with, but it just stinks that there goes another comic book shop. Another shop too I went to on vacation, a little bit overpriced on some of the wall books that I found, and then they had all of their back issues were on shelves in a way that you couldn't see what was inside the box unless you physically took the box off the shelf. Okay, but they weren't alphabetized. They weren't labeled. You had no idea what was in these boxes. So, and I didn't have a ton of time, so I found nothing there. I didn't spend very much time at all there. So that was annoying. That's kind of a, I don't know, a comic book shop pet peeve. I don't know. A lot of times things aren't alphabetized, but to have the boxes on shelves and not be able just to flip through them pretty easily, you know, you're, I don't know, doing all the work for them, and or spending how much length of time just to find some books. I went up there and I was like, hey, I have other videos coming up, and I'm kind of working on a little bit of a Wonder Woman run, and said, hey, where are your Wonder Woman books? They had no idea. They were just grabbing boxes. So I was like, all right, whatever, I'm out. I'm not gonna spend I got kids in the car. I'm not. I had about 10-15 minutes max. So anyway, more comic books are on the way.